Hey guys, so today in Swytch video number 3, we're going to do a little what I call a spouse compatibility test. So let me catch you up. I ordered 2 Swytch kits in June. One for my bike, one for my wife's bike. In fact, I ordered the one for my wife's bike 5 minutes ahead of my order. And mine arrived, my wife's hasn't been shipped yet. I would have put my kit on her bike, except my bike has a 26-inch front wheel and hers has a 28. So until hers arrives, I'm riding by myself. Now, the reason we got these is so that she has an easier time when we ride together. Now, neither of us is a professional cyclist or even a well-established cyclist. We're both beginning hobbyists. I'm in a little bit better shape physically. I run about 25 miles a week, so I have that advantage. And when we ride together, on some hills she struggles. So the whole point on the Swytch kit was to get to the point where we can ride together and she doesn't have to struggle. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to take the bike out on a ride that my wife and I often do together, and I'm only going to engage the motor in the places where I know she struggles. I'm going to try to go at least 20 miles, which is longer than we normally go. And I'm going to see what kind of distance I get out of the battery. I'm going to do this on a system mode 3. And I have the power level setting at 90%. Now, I'm not quite sure what that does yet, but that's the way we're set up. So let's take a ride and see how things go. All right, so we've started off. I'm a third of a mile in, no power. Just gonna ride until we get to the first spot that's a problem. All right, power mode 3. Incline that tires out my wife. So I don't even feel like I'm trying here, so this is going to be good. Shut it off for a little bit and we'll turn back on the next time we need it. 2 miles in. I was just going 20 miles an hour up this hill. The difference this thing makes is phenomenal. I'm gonna shut it off again. And we'll turn it back on at the next struggle spot. Alright, doing one more little climb here. I gotta tell you, the power is addicting. Somebody with a lot of years of motorcycles behind me. This is just fun. This is basically slightly uphill. I don't need the motor, but it's so nice. Okay, we're about to go down a long downhill. This is where, at the bottom of this, there's a long, annoying uphill. So once we get to that hill, I'm going to turn it on. This is where my wife would be getting tired. Let's see what difference this thing makes once we get to the bottom of this hill. Alright, you can see this is flattening out. It's going to start to go up. Engage power. 6 miles in. Just turn this back on again because I'm thinking my wife would. Never mind the fact that the power is so addicting. A couple of little uphills here, so I'm going to leave this thing on. And I'm going to record for a little bit. I will edit out the wind noise as best I can. Miles in. I still have 4 bars of battery. I'm on human power and I'm not the slightest bit tired. This is fantastic. Let's see what else we can get out of this thing. Miles. I'm under my own power, but this bridge coming up, or this little tunnel, is kind of cool, so I figured I'd turn the camera on. Stood up to pedal there just to keep the momentum going. Alright, turning off the camera. Okay, still under my own power. I am now further on this trail than I have ever gone. This is uncharted territory for me. We're going to go to about at least 12.5, if not 13 miles, and then we're going to turn around and go back. Still have plenty of battery. It should be an easy trip. Alright, now I know where I am. I was training for a half marathon a couple of years ago, and I used to run this course from the other direction. And 6 miles from here, I would end up in the parking lot where I would start from. This is pretty cool. So, still going to go a bit, and then we'll turn around and go back. It's just been downhill, so we're going to really see on the way back what the battery will do for us. All right, I am 12.5 miles in. I am now in beautiful Lake Carmel, New York. If we take a look, I still have 4 bars of battery, and I'm going to use that on the way back. So I'm going to stop here, have a little break, and then we're going to use more of the battery on the way back and see how it goes. Alright, on the way back, we're at 13 miles, 4 bars of battery, level 2. I'm going to keep it on except for the big downhills. And we'll see how we do on the way back. Okay, we're at about 16.5 miles. Battery just dropped to 3. Only using the power on some of the long hills. And I've been keeping it to 2. There's a hill or 2 that I moved it up to 4 just to keep going. I don't think I'm going to have any problem getting back. Now there's one big hill coming up here in a little bit. I'm going to put it on 5. It's a short hill, but I just want to see what it's going to do when we get there. So quick observation for normal riding. You know, with little hills here and there when you're tired, power 2 is absolutely fine. Okay. I pumped up the power a little bit. This hill coming up is pretty freaking steep, and I want to motor up it. See it up here. Maybe we get lucky if we get a running start. That was surprisingly easy. 2 we go. I'm at just about 20 miles. I've been using the battery most of the way. Still 3 at level 2. And I gotta tell you, on some of these long, slow up hills that I would normally pedal, there's nothing like going up it at 20 miles an hour. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Now we're going to have some fun. So I'm going downhill, still at 3 and level 2, just coasting. If you recall from the beginning of the ride, there was that one really long downhill stretch. And then we came up this. This is one of the first places I turned on the power. So going up that long hill that we went down before, I'm going to boost up to 5 and just hammer this hill. Only because I think it'll be fun. was fun. Okay, 24.5 miles in, just dropped to level 2 here. And I just passed a guy, like he was standing still. So what are my observations after all of that? Well, that was a almost 26-mile bike ride. That was really easy. I'm not the least bit tired. And I think had that been my wife on her bike with me on my regular bike, I would have never been able to keep up. I mean, I was doing 20 miles an hour a lot of the time when I had it on. It just made it really, really easy. So, you know, 1 weekend, handful of rides. What is my rating so far of the Swytch bike? Absolutely. Super happy that I got it. And I would highly recommend this. I can't wait to see what happens when my wife's finally shows up. Thanks, guys.